Right, okay, let's get going with this webinar. Thank you very much for attending. We're going to be looking at PowerPacks. This is one of a series of PowerPack live webinars that we'll be doing. And this particular one is all going to be about the Add Parameter tool. And so we can find out exactly what that does and how well it works. My name's Greg Benson Shettle. I'm one of the application engineers here. A certified, Autodesk certified trainer, one of the many trainers we have. And I've been with Greytec /Address for over 20 years. Prior to becoming an Autodesk certified professional for AutoCAD and Revit, and then a certified instructor, which I've been for almost 10 years now. I previously ran a commercial contract drafting agency where we would undertake drafting jobs of 2D, 3D animations, visualization for clients from all different backgrounds. So just a few key facts about Greytec as a company itself. It's over 30 years old. It has its headquarters in France, and we are a worldwide country-based company with 11 countries with over 48 offices. When you invest with any of our assistants, you can rely on the fact that you're with a very healthy and growing company. Okay, we're not hardly going to be disappearing anytime soon, so we're going to be here to help you for the long term. We've got revenues in excess of 150 million, and we've got a very strong balance sheet as well. Using CAD for structural works, architectural works, fabrication, it's in our very DNA. We've got over 550 staff. 100 of them are actually located in producing customized versions of the softwares that we all use, including obviously the development of the PowerPacks. We've got 200 industry consultants, industry-focused consultants, and the rest of the team are support and administration and on the sales side. But a very strong team supporting you. Now, it's all about the customers. You are our partners. Without you, we can't do anything. Customers always come first, and we'll do our very best to ensure that when you're using the Autodesk softwares and our own softwares, we're there to help you out. Now, to help you out, we have got what we call the 4 pillars, and that is a selection of additional tools to help you with your Autodesk products and enhance those products with our PowerPacks, which is what we're going to be looking at today. Once you've done your design work, we can simulate those. We've got simulation products to help you to do FEA and structural analysis with your tools. And then we can take those drawings into actual deliverables and finished fabrication outputs. Now, of course, all of this documentation that we generate, it needs to be tracked, it needs to be controlled, and we need to have it all under one environment, one CDE, one common data environment, so that we can support that. And we can help you with that as well. And we have products such as OpenTree, which will allow you to completely automate and control your documentation. So that's Greytec and who we are. Now, this is all about the Revit PowerPack. So let's see, what does it actually look like? Well, I've had to split it over 2 sessions here, 2 screens, so that you can get a good appreciation of the number of tools that we have. You've got over 70 tools in the PowerPack for Revit to help you improve on your functionality and your efficiency. Now, you may find that with this installation, if you ever find that there's some tools that you click on them and they do nothing, it's not because it's broken It's because there are two versions available. There's the standard tools and there's a professional version available. So if you need some of those additional tools, then please contact your local representative and they'll be able to help you with that. Now, when you download and install the Revit PowerPack, it's bi-versioned. In other words, the very latest version is going to work on 2020 and 2021. Now, if you're still using slightly older versions of Revit, then don't worry, we've got you covered because older versions are available as well. Obviously, as soon as you start going back in versions, there's some tools won't be there that's in the newer ones, and that's perfectly normal. But those PowerPacks will work for you. So, next logical question, therefore, is, well, where do we get those from? Yeah? Where do we get the PowerPack from? So there's various places, but one easy place is actually going to be the Advantage website, our own website, the Graitec Advantage website. It looks like this, and you can log in. You'll need a login. If you need a login and you can't get into the Advantage website, then again, please contact your local representative and they'll be able to help you out with that. So as you, there's a little scroll bar here, and as you scroll down, you'll be able to see that you've got these download buttons, so it's very easy to get hold of. Over here, there where it says select a product, you can see that we have a wide range of PowerPacks available for you to use. So of course we'd be clicking on the Autodesk Revit one, and then you could actually then further pin down on the versions as well. So you could, and this will filter what you see on the screen there, so you can pick just the one that you need. Okay, so that's the Graitec Advantage site. And where do you get it from? You go to all the W's, advantage.graitec.com. Okay. So let's see a bit more in detail about what's going on here. So back to this screen. Now, what we're going to be looking at today, okay, are these add parameter tools. Okay, when you click on here, you'll see there's a little drop down, and when you click on the drop down, we'll have a further set of tools for specific items. So we're going to take a look at a few of these, okay, and see how they can help you with your design work. Okay. Let's go live into Revit. Bear with me for a moment. Okay. So here we have Revit 2021, and I'm just going to open up a brand new project. I'm just going to use the architectural template. So this is a standard out-of-the-box template, no smoke or mirrors going on right here. So let's see what we can do. Now, there are lots of PowerPacks available, as you can see running across the top of my screen. I've got various ones, and we're going to be concentrating on this standard PowerPack and with these tools here. Okay, so let's have a look at, we'll start at the top, why not? So columns. So first of all, I'll add a column. So I can add a column in here. Oops. Let's check those options panels. We want one with a height, and we'll bring it up to level 1. Okay, so there's a couple of columns. Now, ordinarily, when you select a column, now these could be architectural columns, they could be structural columns, it doesn't matter. When you select a column, and we take a look in the properties palette, well, how high, what is the height on this? Well, it doesn't actually say. Okay, with the standard parameters that it reports on, it doesn't actually tell you. Okay, so this is where one of the PowerPack tools can be very useful. So we're going to add a parameter. All right, we'll add a parameter here, column height. Add shared parameters, so it's adding this new G column height parameter. Okay, right. So now, if I click on this one here, and we take a look over in the properties palette, there it is, G column height. So now we can actually instantly get a feedback from our properties palette telling us what the height of those columns are. So for example, if I went and change this and say, right, well, actually it's going to have minus 1400 here, and I'm going to take the top offset down 275, like so, and look at this. The G column height has adapted. So it gives you that instant feedback as to, well, what is the height of that particular column? So that's how that parameter works. Okay. You can actually call this out in a schedule as an individual item, if that's useful to you. Just checking for questions. Got a question. Where's that question poll gone? Okay, thank you, Fiona. Right, let's have a look at the next one. We'll go back to our PowerPack. What's next on the list? Let's have a look. Wall thickness. Oh, this is a good one. It will do exactly what you expect it to do. So I'm going to just draw a wall like so. Okay. Let's draw another wall of a different type. Just let's pick up on a single wall here. Okay. And one more, just for a bit of variety. Let's have a look. And we'll do another one here. Okay. So 3 walls, here we are. And of course, if you select a wall, what can we find out about it? In the dimensions, it will show us the length, area, and volume. But I don't really know what the thickness is. And of course, we can't always rely on just the name that appears here. Yeah. So if I pick on another one, yeah, this says 12p. So could I just add up these dimensions? Well, no, because that's probably 102.5 and that's 12.5. So it's not giving us a readout. Let's see how the PowerPack can help us. Let's go to our add parameter and we'll add the wall thickness parameter. Off we go. It's going to be called G for Greytec wall thickness. There we go. Let's add that in there. And here we are. Looking, I have this middle wall selected, and now I know that the thickness of that is actually 290. Click on this one, that's 125. No surprise there with that one. And your basic brickwork, 1215. So these are all handy tools so that when you're going around a Revit project, you can just click on an item and you can get that instant feedback with what's going on. Let's see what else. What's next? Let's have a look. There's one for coordinates. Now, this is particularly useful for things like column positions. So we've got a couple of columns. Let me just run that one. Now, if I select these columns, if I select this column, and we have a look in here, we now have this geometric positioning, which we didn't have before for columns. So we've got the X, Y, and Z for the base of this column. And there's this other one here called topo chord. Okay, what is the difference between these two? Right. This first set, these are the coordinates based upon the Revit base point. Okay. And then these ones, these are the Revit coordinates based upon the survey point. So when you're doing your coordination of your files, you may have a base point setting, you've got a survey point settings, and this will give you those settings. And of course, this information, all these parameters are schedulable. So that means you could do a column schedule and be able to instantly issue out all of the GPS coordinates, all the X, Y, and Z coordinates for where those columns are actually going to be on site. Fantastic, really, really useful. Moving on, let's see what else we have. Room finishes. Okay, room finishes. Let's take a look at this. So first of all, we're going to need some rooms. So I'm just going to draw a quick room. Let's do from here. We'll just come down. Just going to do a very quick and crude one. I'll do another one, but with some different walls. Okay. Go with a basic wall. Okay. External wall, internal wall. Now, so that we can look at the finishes that it's going to be reporting on, let's put a floor in here as well. So I'll grab a base floor. Just going to put a standard floor in here. Okay. Put this one all the way across there, like so. I'm then going to put another floor in, a different floor in this area here, which is going to go on top of that floor. Okay, so now, rather than going to placing it on proper levels, just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to put in a timber floor. Okay, and I'm just going to raise this up off that level 0. And let's see what we get. I'll raise it up by 150 mil. Okay. Like so. I'm going to say no to that. Okay. Let's pop this into shaded mode so that we can get a better idea about what's going on. Just going to pick that floor in there if I can. Let's go to pop over to a 3D view. I'll tell you what, let's do that. Let's go to filter. Just show me the floors. Just want to check what this looks like. Wood sheathing. Let's just give it a different type of wood, so we've got something more interesting to report on. Just do that. That's a bit dark. I just changed that color a little bit. That's better. Cool. Now, the way that this PowerPack tool is going to work for figuring out room finishes, it's going to be using the room tool. So it's important that we actually place some rooms inside of this area. So back to the architecture ribbon, we'll put a room in here, and we'll have a room there, and we'll have another room in here. So we have these 2 rooms, and when you hover around and you pick on a room, you'll notice in the identity data, we have got fields out of the box for things like base finish, ceiling finish, wall finish, and floor finish. Okay, so let's see how this will work out. PowerPack, add parameters, room finishes. Okay. Now what I need to do is, you'll notice we've got a finish button here and there's a multiple tick. We're going to select these. So I'll select that room there and I'll select that room there. Notice the little plus badge next to my cursor, if you can see that. And when you're done, you click on finish. All right. So let's see what information is now being generated automatically. If I click on this room here for room number 1, there we go. It says that the wall finish is plaster. Okay, plaster. So it's picked up on that wall finish straight away. Let's have a look at this one. Quick tab. Plaster. Okay, let me just change the room name here. I'll call it small room. Okay, I'm going to move this room in its entirety. I'm going to move it out here. Put that back in. Let's try this again. We have got wall finishes. Okay, let's try this one. Plaster. It's not picking up on the floor finish for some reason. Let's find out why. I'm going to pop over to a 3D view for a second. Come on. I'm having mouse issues. Let's use that button instead. Okay. Let's have a look at this floor. Let's have a look at the structure. Okay, it's definitely got a finish oak flooring. And so I'm actually checking because there's looking where you need to check if you ever find that one of these doesn't work. So that should be sand and concrete that it's picking up on. Okay, so they're definitely in the finishes area. Let's just rerun those tools. So you'll find that if you ever update or change the elements of your building, you will need to update the actual reading of that information. So let's try this one more time. Add parameter, room finishes. Let's pick on that one and that one. And finish. Let's try this again. So now look at this. Floor finish, it's got plaster in here, and it says that it's concrete and sand. So it's basically we've got our screed on the top. And in this one, tab, yep, it's now picking up that it's plaster and oak in there. What happens though if you have walls with different finishes on? Yeah, what happens? Let's mimic that. So I'm going to take this wall here. I'll make a quick edit to this wall. I'll duplicate it. I edit the structure. And rather than that finish being plaster, I am going to put some sort of cladding on there. Okay, we'll have some. I'm going to put in some timber cladding. How about that? Why not? Okay, so it's now got this siding clapboard in there. I'm not going to worry about the thickness for the purposes of this demonstration. Do OK. Do OK. Okay. And in our 3D view, just to check, let's just select these walls and connect them to the level 1. That's better. All right, let's have a look. So that long wall now, okay, if I change this into realistic. So we've got our timber cladding on this side, and this is just, the rest of this has got plaster. Let's see how the properties react to that. Need to do a quick update because we have changed the properties of the building. Okay, so add parameter, room and finishes. Select that room and click on the finish button. Off we go. Boom. Right, let's click on the room, see what it says. There it is. Look at that. So you've got a room there where the wall finishes are different, and it's actually going to show you. So on some walls I've got plaster, and on the other walls I've got this material called siding clapboard. So Really handy way, and of course that's instantly schedulable. All these finishes, well, you can just do a room takeoff now, and your rooms will be up to date. Okay, so as you can see, with these various tools that we have available, just follow the instructions that are there. Now, when it comes to instructions, by the way, here's the thing. Look, if you hover over any of these tooltips, you'll notice that the tooltip itself says press F1. Now, you would expect that that's just going to go to the Revit help, but let's find out. I'm going to press F1 right now. And look at this. It's gone to the Graitec Advanced PowerPack, and it's looking at this. There we go, the pipe thickness. That's the one I was interested in. Yeah, so here's a step-by-step walkthrough of how you could use this tool. So if you're ever not sure, okay, hit F1 while you're hovering over one of those tooltips, and it will take you to the relevant Graitec help page so that you know what to do. Okay. The pipe thickness one, it's not looking at the pipe width, it's looking at the wall thickness of the pipe, the wall thickness. That's what that one does. Okay. Right. I know we started a bit late, and I'm aware that some of you may have other appointments at 4 o'clock. So I'm going to more or less wrap up there, but hopefully this gives you a good overview of what this add parameter tool can do for you. Now, just a couple of other little things. You can customize these. So if there's a tool like room finishes and you'd like to be able to access that easily, we could always use a keyboard shortcut, couldn't we? Now, when you hover over, most tools, you'll see that for wall, it's WA, yeah? And, D, you can see the keyboard shortcut there, DR, all right? But we could actually add keyboard shortcuts to our PowerPack tools as well. So if I want to add one, for example, let's try the room finishes one. How can we do that? Right, I'm going to go to View, User Interface, Keyboard Shortcuts. Okay. And I'm going to just do a search here for the Graitec tools. Okay, let's try another one instead. What was that one called again? PowerPack. Wall thickness. Okay, I'm just going to go back into the keyboard shortcuts with the keyboard shortcut of KS. Wall thickness. Add parameters. There we go. Add parameters. And can I just say WT? Okay, that one's reserved. Okay. G. Or how about PowerPack WT? And assign. There we go. So we've now assigned a keyboard shortcut to this parameter. Let's take a quick look. So PowerPack, add, and look, there it is. Yeah. So you can also add, so any of the tools that we've got on the PowerPack, if there's some you're going to be using regularly, why not add a keyboard shortcut to them? You can do that. Now, one more thing. These are all customizable. What you actually get to see are customizable. And in fact, with these parameters, there's a lot more parameters available than is immediately visible. Okay, if you go to the big G here, and then from the pop down here, you've got PowerPack Customization. If we click in here, go to Ribbon Customization. In here, you've got a series of checkboxes, so you can turn on and off certain tools. So if there are some that you're just never going to use and you want to declutter, then you can certainly do that. But as we scroll down, you can see there's quite a lot with them in there. But look at this. Here's one, add a shared parameter for beams. Beam elevation. What is the beam elevation? you could add that in the tool. Yeah? Shared parameters. Yeah. So you can customize this very, very easily. So there it is, beam elevation. It wasn't there before. I've just added it simply by putting a check in that checkbox. Righty-ho. So that is the PowerPack Add Parameter toolset and a few other tips and tricks on how you can make this usable for yourselves. So I'd like to thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can always email me, okay, or your local representative. So thank you very much for sticking around and watching this. It's very much appreciated. So keep safe and look out for the next webinar on the PowerPacks. Thank you and bye-bye.
Greytec.